All right. All right. Do the thing.
Test, test,
Test.
test, test,
Test.
test,
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 Test.
test,
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 Test.
test,
test,
Test.
test. Wait, can this
test,
Test.
be like how we introduce the
Test.
podcast?
Yeah, we
Test.
can. Yeah.
test. Interesting. Can't say taco.
How was your party
Tuesdays.
last night?
Oh, I played beer pong. I kept doing this thing where I'd like go really deep and I'd bounce it, so it was at such an angle where they couldn't hit the bounce. So the bounce would come in, so they couldn't whack it away, and if they did, they'd knock over the cups. So it was kind of a hack, but
You,
I
you
kept
sound
getting
very,
double. I kept
you
getting
sound
double
very, you sound very proud that you were able to accomplish this.
cups. It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. There was one where I had to do it lefty, and I bounced it in this way, and then my partner got in the same cup, so we got 6 cups on that one move.
People must have thought you were so cool, man. They were like, man, this guy devised a strategy where he becomes unbeatable in beer pong.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't
So
very good
fun.
at executing it, but like, why are you going so deep? I'm like, oh, because now I can hit the angle just right.
We're all buzzed, and this guy's talking about angles. Awesome.
Did you use that as like a pickup line?
No.
You're like, hey, look at how deep I go. This is pretty analogous to how I do sex.
Yeah, that would go over well.
Wait, were there any women there?
No, there was one, but it wasn't a big. There was only a couple people because we social distance. We care
Did you?
about.
Wait, if you social
Pretty much.
distance,
Everyone
doesn't that
kept
make the
their-
game harder?
I mean, it wasn't like no one was like high-fiving or anything. It was like pseudo-social. It wasn't a group of like 30 people at a party. It was like 5 people.
Oh, so it wasn't a party at all.
No. Well, okay, but like I don't really go to parties. So for me, like 5 people is a party.
So like,
I
if you're in
mean-
line, at the subway, or if you're in line at a subway and you're gonna get a footlong, does that constitute as a party?
Why'd you bring
'Cause,
up
like,
the
there's
foot
usually-
long?
Yeah, do you get really anxious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I used to have a good joke
Fuck, I had to
about
talk to
Jared
someone.
5 foot Jared footlong joke. It was like
Let's hear this.
let me think about this. It was Jared got fired from Subway because he gave an 8-year-old $5 for his footlong.
No, wait, doesn't
No,
make
that
any
was
sense.
backwards. That was backwards.
Yeah, the kid gave
Yeah.
Jared $5, and then he gave him his.
Did you hear
footlong.
this somewhere, or did you make this up?
I made it up.
Okay.
I thought about it. It was like I was studying for a test a year ago maybe, and I was with a group of friends who had a pretty sick sense of humor, and I was just trying to fit in. I'm like, oh, I got a good one, and I said it. It was better at the time. I kind of forgot it by now, but I mean, I think if you work with that, there's
I mean, you had the timing down pat.
time was bad.
I remember when I was younger, I think, at like a water park.
Oh God.
And I was slightly larger. So I was just inherently hungry all the
And
time.
you saw Subway Jared.
And I saw a Subway. No, and I only had $5 because I didn't come prepared. And so I went there because, I heard in the commercials, $5 footlong, and I have $5. Therefore, I should get my footlong.
Not true.
So I go there. Yeah, it turns out it's not true. Tax exists, 1, but then 2, it wasn't even fucking $5 for my footlong.
Yeah.
It was like $6.29, and I was like, "What the fuck,
Dude, it's a
Jared?
lie.
Did you lie to me?"
No, it's only
He lied to a lot
$5.
of people.
It's only $5 if you get like, the Black Forest turkey with lettuce, essentially. And then with taxes, it's like $5.25 or whatever.
So Jared's is $5, but it's not actually a footlong.
I don't
wait, so are you-
believe that Jared ate that many Subway sandwiches and like lost
He lost like 300 pounds.
215 pounds. That's
I-
just he had a
well,
62-inch waist.
That's then they probably put stuff in there. Like they probably put like laxatives in it and just forced him to like he
I
probably
mean,
did
Subway
eat the
wasn't
Subway stuff.
sponsoring him when he was just a 600-pound man.
They weren't.
Honestly,
No,
though,
I don't know what
It's
happened.
it's probably not hard to lose weight if you're 600 pounds. Like you can probably just not eat a bucket less food.
No,
and
when
I've
you get
heard
that
that
fat,
argument.
it's hard to move.
Yeah, it's hard to when
So-
your legs each weigh like $150, dude. Like I was looking at some. I was doing for some reason. I was reading about Subway Jared last night, so it's funny that you guys brought him up. But I was looking at pictures of people that are that large, and each of their legs are like wider than my own torso. Like circumference wise. So you have to imagine having to move each of your legs to get on like a treadmill or something, which might not even be wide enough to hold you.
Yeah.
Well, when they just start by moving. Remember that person was like 1,300 pounds? They started just by moving their hands and it helped them. And then the first sign that they were starting to get healthy was that they would have the morning wood. Like they would check every morning to see if he was getting erect. And that was a sign that there was
circulation in his body.
Yeah.
No, maybe it's just like, hey man, we'll take any kind of exercise.
Well, maybe that is a way to lose weight, is if like once you start being able to get aroused, like it's just a way to get your heart going.
Wait, are you saying then that like getting boners is the same thing as doing like a bicep curl? I could see that.
At that weight, probably.
Yeah.
You lose like 10 pounds every time you can.
Wait, so
but it's probably so rare.
It's interesting that you point that out because a lot of people claim that Subway Jared's hypersexuality came from an addiction. At first he had a compulsive eating disorder, but they say that that addiction turned into like pedophilia. And a hypersexuality, which could stem from what you're talking about, checking for boners, and then eventually he just is like incentivized to get really horny, and then, but I mean, I'm kind of not with this idea because I feel like he was a pedophile the entire time, even when he was fat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get that theory. Like,
well, no,
yeah, wait, what?
Because a lot of people have lost weight and haven't done what he did.
Yeah, exactly. Are you his lawyer or something? What kind of?
Yeah, that's like
it was like a psychologist.
What his lawyer would say.
Paid by Subway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can see like theoretically, I see like the reasoning, but I'm just not sure. Like,
no, I don't think being fat means that you're gonna turn into a pedophile. Which is essentially what you were saying, and then you lose weight.
Well, I mean, no, it just means you have a hyperactive sex drive, not necessarily a pedophile.
What if he was always like a pedophile, but like him losing weight was like his undoing? So like maybe he just like hid videos under his like fat flaps, like when he was younger, and now that he lost weight, he was like, "Fuck, I can't hide these anywhere. I guess I'll just use like a floppy disk or something." And then that's when the feds got him. They were like, "We found it, you asshole."
I thought where you were going with that was like when he was fat and he tried to get with kids, it'd be like. Oh, no, dude.
Well, it's even worse.
You're like, what?
Oh my god!
Like, if we're gonna do this, like, you can't just be 600 pounds. I still have standards.
Yeah, lose some weight first. Yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
I'm 12. You weigh 18 times my weight.
Oh my god.
I was thinking about this. What if there was a book called, it's like Infinite Jest, but it's like. It's Infinite Breast, and instead of being a young tennis player, he was a female tennis player.
What?
Wait, what's Infinite Jest? The fuck is that?
Infinite Jest?
Is that a movie?
It's a 1,000-page novel by David Foster Wallace.
Isn't that sad that like I assumed it was a movie before it was a book? I feel like that's most people now.
Yeah, see, why is that sad? I feel like there's this assumption that movies are automatically worse. But I feel like a lot of movies are better than the books.
Like what?
No, see, but I feel like movies, when you watch a movie, it's harder to engage yourself than it is to engage with words. So like you're not critically thinking as much when you're watching a movie. Maybe if you watch it a second time, but that requires more work that people don't do.
Okay, that's still less work than reading a book. Like reading a book's gonna take like 20 hours. Watching a movie, you could watch it 10 times, and that's been
exactly. So when you're reading a book, you're like engaging yourself more. So the fact that you're just like automatically displacing books means that you're just completely foregoing this process of critical thinking.
But I think I was taught better in school how to read books than watch movies. Because when I watch a movie that's supposed to be complicated, I almost always need to like ask a friend that knows more or read like a critic's review to be like, what the hell just happened? Whereas a book, I feel like I have enough skills at this point to have a reasonable idea what's going on. unless it's like Infinite Jest, which is just endlessly complicated.
I think it's less likely for a film to like very intentionally use some sort of plot device or weird analogy than a book.
What if it's like a really artsy movie?
But then, like when you're watching a movie like that, aren't you kind of looking for it anyway?
I guess, but I'm saying I just don't have I don't have the talent to do that. Like that Charlie Kaufman movie I want to watch. I feel like I'm gonna get really confused. I'm gonna get more confused by the movie than I would have by the book. Like when I read The Shining versus watching the movie was much harder to like decipher the meaning. The book was kind of straightforward. But Stephen King is like just kind of he's like a pump out machine, you know? He's like a one pump chump.
I don't know. There are
like
probably a lot of
50 pumps a
things that you miss in books. Stop.
That's true. No, you're definitely right. I just think
there are probably more things
more.
that you miss in a book.
I think I miss more in a movie per minute of watching. Like if I miss half an hour of a 2-hour movie, that's like a quarter of the movie. Whereas if I miss like 10 pages of a 100-page book, I don't think it's quite as bad, you know?
How do you miss 10 pages? Do you just skip 10 pages? You're just like, oh, I'm reading.
This isn't a physics
page
textbook.
38. This isn't a marine biology textbook.
There's a lot more fat in a book than there is in a movie, usually. So
That's
you
true,
can you can read 10 pages and then just not remember what happened because like they might not have mattered at all. But people say, which is why like this book was so heavy, was that there wasn't any fat in it, even though it was 1,000 pages long, and it also had like 200 pages of footnotes.
Are you saying then to make it less fat, the book needs to be about Subway?
It needs to get on a Subway diet, dude.
I'm sorry. The connection was just too strong.
You have to teach like a seminar how to write books like succinctly. Just your final line will be that.
I was reading an article yesterday about Mark Zuckerberg and how Facebook has come under fire in the recent decade, I guess. And recently they had a company-wide meeting where Zuckerberg was just addressing his like 50,000 employees about everything that they like were complaining about. I was like pretty fuck Mark Zuckerberg for a while, but now I thought one of his responses to his employees' questions were really funny because like his employees were complaining about some of the stuff. It's like, well, you shouldn't have these, leaders allowed to make fake accounts and just change the course of elections, or you shouldn't allow like Russian bots, and you shouldn't allow these like Kenosha, militia groups get together and just shoot people. But then one of them was like, because we've been in COVID for so long, something that we've all been missing out on is the free snacks in the Facebook offices. Dear Mark Zuckerberg, how dare you? I make $82,000 an hour to work as a UX designer for Facebook Marketplace, and you dare take my unsalted almonds that I look forward to every day.
It's so dumb.
I mean, free snacks are pretty nice though. Come on,
dude,
now.
it's like
let's not discount this voice.
I understand that the company makes a lot of money and that they could afford to pay for free snacks, but they also make like tons of money.
Yeah, exactly. Therefore, they should have really nice snacks. So that's probably like why they're missing it so much. It's like, man, lobster, caviar at noon.
I'm pretty sure that's not what they have.
It's like almonds and sparkling
way.
water. Or like like maybe an almond bar.
Kind bars.
Yeah.
Wait, have you heard a lot of people are now that they're working from home, there's been like debates about lunch breaks and how that should be handled. Do we have a thought on that?
What is
my
the
lunch
debate?
break is the entire 8 hours. Yeah, what's the
Well,
what's
some
the
people are
debate?
saying like, why aren't we getting paid for our lunch breaks now? It's like, well, you're at home, so like the whole day is kind of a break, like what Rory just said. And then, like, I don't know.
Wait,
I don't really
you always
understand.
Well, some companies
people-
pay you to go get lunch like while you're on the job, but now it's like, okay, you're at home, so like you don't
That's
have
pretty
to go
rare, though.
drive somewhere to eat, or you don't have to take a break to eat. Like you can literally just eat where you're working. So like we don't have to pay
That-
you.
That's rare though. Most companies, I feel like, don't pay for the lunch breaks. Like even
Interesting.
before this whole virus happened.
Yeah,
Facebook
I don't know.
did.
I've never
don't know
been.
if they
Oh
did.
yeah, Facebook did.
I've never been paid for lunch.
I
So
like.
I don't-
Then
I don't know. I mean,
I'd be
did.
pretty upset.
I'm kind of with people here, like just, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what people, if people just want to be paid to do nothing, because they're also probably, as we're talking about, snacking throughout the day. So do you
What about companies that do subsidize snacks? Should now they subsidize your food from working from home too? Like companies that used to give you free lunch at work at the cafeteria or whatever. Should they now send you like $20 a day or 8 cents a day for the?
I guess that's
quality
what
of food
these
that they
fucking
used to give
Facebook
you?
people want. But I don't know.
Wait, I guess
What is the
That's
other
true,
$140,000 a year, like starting salary, doing for you?
yeah.
I mean, I get that you're living in Palo Alto,
What
but
is it my connection?
you're losing your connection.
Shit.
I guess you are frozen. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Oh well.
You're usually so expressionless that I wouldn't even notice.
Oh, that reminded me of something creepy, but I'm not going to bring it up.
Is it what you were talking
what
about
you
the other
talking-
night?
No.
Yeah.
No, not that.
Oh what?
Wait, no, what
it
is
was
it?
like it was just like this weird, like when I was like 10 and kids would tell us like ghost stories. And it was just this ghost
What was
story
a
this
ghost
kid
story?
told, and I was like creeped out at the time. And then I realized it was like so obviously fake.
Well, just tell. Why? Just tell it.
I think
Just get into. Just what is the story?
It was just that there was like this woman once that checked into a hospital, and she was like really blank faced, and then I guess she ate the doctor, and she was supposedly the devil. And then like when I thought about it when I was older, I'm like, wait, didn't someone like report that afterwards or try to stop her as she was leaving? And I think it was from a movie with like Megan Fox. I'm pretty sure that's where it came from, but
Oh, Jennifer's body.
yeah, I think that's what it was. Because I saw that movie when I was older. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of that story that creeped me out when I was like 12 or 13 or 21. Yeah, I don't want to admit how old I actually was.
I like how on the internet everyone just makes any time people are in the same movie part of like the universe that they're in it, like another movie in. I can't think of an example where this happens. No,
don't
I
know
can
what you're-
actually. Anne Hathaway was in a movie with Matthew McConaughey, and people were just saying, "This is the Interstellar sequel," even though I think the movie was about like France or something.
Interesting. Wait,
They make their own France in space.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it just all takes place
Space France.
in space France.
yeah, it's gonna be like the sequel to
Honestly,
Interstellar.
putting the word space in front of like any like noun is kind of just like makes it funnier.
It's still a funny Space China.
Space Chinatown. So it's Chinatown in space.
I don't know why, but for some reason, whenever people do that to me, I always laugh, even though it's stupid. Like when I was in Germany, I was like, "Oh shit, that's a German Shepherd," and then people would just be like, "It's actually here, a shepherd," and I'd be like,
Wow,
"Oh,
that's so clever."
fuck!" I'd lose my shit.
What? Interesting.
Stop saying that. It's like making me so angry.
That was
Say
that was
something.
the
Say
curb-
anything else.
It was the Curb Your Enthusiasm. That was actually an episode. There was a dog that was trained in German, and he hated Larry because Larry was Jewish. And then Larry had the Star of David in his car at some point, and the dog just like ate him.
When I hear Larry David, I just hear,
So it's basically what he says. After.
yeah.
The man made a career just complaining, basically complaining about every day.
Oh yeah, go off.
No, I mean he's super fun. It's amazing
Okay.
that the guy can just gets the most ridiculous storylines out of absolutely nothing. George was that was literally just Larry David's character in real life,
Yeah.
supposedly. I'm not sure I buy it.
Yeah, they say the Tyrannosaurus Rex in Jurassic Park was was based off of was just based off of Steven Spielberg's daughter. Did you know that?
Wait, did his daughter have just like really tiny arms?
It sounded like she was just like a dinosaur of a person, you know?
Oh.
And he was
Yeah,
just like, I
get
need
better.
to make like the closest depiction of what it feels like to be in my household. And then he was like, oh shit, Jaws, Jurassic Park. You know, Jaws was his
I'm looking.
wife. You know, Jurassic Park was
I'm looking up his daughter as we speak.
Well, I mean, what if his daughter is actually a dinosaur, and what if his wife is actually a shark?
his daughter.
Married to a shark, and then the shark gave birth to a dinosaur.
It's funny you mentioned that. His daughter is like a musician in LA. I think she goes by like Buzzy Lee, and she does like alternative folk rock.
I thought it says she's an adult entertainer.
Oh,
That
oh
is not a
my.
dinosaur.
Hold on, wait.
Even Spielberg
He
is
probably has a
reportedly
bunch of daughters.
concerned. Yeah, I think he is too.
Well, the other one, the one that I'm not. She went to Brown.
No, so did Emma Watson.
Dude, all of these people are just paying to get into these schools.
Then there's probably someone that actually is like works really, and then you're just never going to believe them. You just be like, oh yeah, Lori Loughlin.
There's no reason we should believe them, though. It's not. I don't. Do you want to believe that all these celebrities are also smart? I guess.
First of all,
I don't
if a celebrity came up to me and was like trying to justify their own like admission into like a really prestigious college, I'd be like, why are you talking to me?
Go away.
I'm sitting at this Starbucks trying to enjoy a conversation.
Yeah, but what if
and
they
just,
knew
like,
that we talked about it on the podcast, and then they were like, "I want you to justify your position on this issue."
well, fuck, I'd be like,
exactly.
sponsor the podcast first of all. You need to pay me to listen to your opinion.
Do you know how funny it would be if this podcast was sponsored by Lori Loughlin? Oh my god.
Might be a way for her to get back in touch with the youth.
I mean, I've said this already, but I am fully in support of the way that she got her daughter into school.
Shit.
I hope that more rich people do that.
Interesting.
Wait, what did she do? She just paid the money, right? She didn't do anything special.
She did. She went around the system to pay this one guy $500,000 to somehow convince the rowing coach that her daughters would be part of the team, which got them a
Interesting.
special edge up on getting into the school, because then they would be student athletes. But once they got into the school, obviously they did not row at all. And also, they weren't even going to be rowers. They were going to be coxswains, which are just the people that sit on the boat and like yell directions. But
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah.
You have to be really skinny though and small, which
yeah, you
her
have to weigh like
daughter
100
is.
pounds. But
That's nuts. I didn't know you could do that. So technically, you could literally get a full ride just for like yelling directions.
No, I don't think you usually get scholarships.
I don't think
or-
it was ethical what they were doing. And but I mean, what I would say is that it was ethical in that they paid like twice the amount that anyone else was paying to go to the school, you know, and they also could afford it very easily because they live in like an $8 million home. So it's like if people that rich are going to be going to college anyway, then make them pay what is like proportional to what they're like getting. Because Lori Loughlin's husband owns like a fashion thing or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's like, I mean,
He's probably richer than she is.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they're both bringing in. I mean, she's bringing in like Full House syndication money, and then he's bringing in whatever revenue that he gets from his business. So it's like, I mean, why should like really rich people have to pay what everyone else is paying?
No, they pay more usually, don't they?
No, like in terms of the full like tuition, they don't usually pay more.
Oh, interesting.
Can you say something like anything else when you're just filling in? You have nothing to say, so you just say
Spanish.
fingers and a drink in her hand. She thought about the days when her looks were still in demand and wondered where the time had gone. When did everything go wrong? No more flowers at her door. No more phone calls to wait up for. And she just wanted to die. But it was easier. It was easier.
Bench.